Hey guys, Kelly Barnum with FHN again. We are in the meat room. Today we're going to be talking about ratios in your meat and in the products you're trying to create that are your meat to fat ratios, your protein to fat. When we're grinding meats, especially venison, because it's such a high quality protein and doesn't come with a lot of fat in it, it's very important that we add some fat back to it when we're making products such as summer sausage, salami, pepperoni, and even basic hamburger. Today we're mostly going to be talking about and setting up a ratio for hamburger. I like to run my hamburger at an 80-20. That's 80% protein, 80% meat, 20% fats. The reason I do that, it keeps the burger a lot more juicy. So if I'm having company over and we're going to have a nice big juicy hamburger, I want when they bite into it to get that, get that fat flowing down to their elbows because it's delicious. I want to make sure that you guys know that the quality of the meat is going to be the quality that you're putting into it. So the extra time and care that you take in the field, breaking down the deer and elk, which we've covered in previous videos, the time and care you take in that is directly going to be reflected in the quality of stuff you're producing in the meat room. Also, on top of that, from the meat side, the quality of your fat. I raise hogs personally, and I do 2 to 4 a year, and the reason I raise hogs is for the fat. I know exactly what I'm feeding those hogs, and the quality of fat that I am receiving is the best I can get compared to store-bought stuff. But most of your general stores, grocery stores that have meat rooms, probably your Safeways, Thriftways, stuff like that, you can go right in there and ask them for trim, and they'll either have it or they'll save it for you, and you can pick it up the next day. All right, that being said, this is just basically a basic scale. Some of the features on this scale are it will weigh in kilograms and pounds and even ounces. I run it completely in pounds because of the fact that I don't even know how kilograms transfer, so it doesn't matter. And this is my meat tub. The first thing we need to do is set the meat tub on the scale, and it's going to obviously have a weight, and we want to be accurate with our ratios. So we're going to go ahead and tare the scale. What tearing the scale does is it subtracts the weight of the meat lug from the overall weight. So now I'm back to 0, and anything I put in this lug is going to be the actual weight of the meat. So what we're doing today is we are grinding venison, and I'm going to run an 80-20 mix. I'm doing 10 pounds of meat today. So I'm going to do 8 pounds, pretty simple math, 8 pounds of actual protein, which is venison, and I'm going to do 2 pounds of fat, which is going to equal my 10 pounds and be ran at about a 20% fat to meat ratio. So we're going to go ahead, get this scale where I can actually read it, and we're just going to toss in 10 pounds of this beautiful venison. This is actually white-tailed deer, and that's 8 pounds on the money right there. So now I'll just grab a chunk of this. This is my pork fat, straight back fat off of a pork that I raised, I harvested. I know for a fact that it's super pure, and that's the only, when you have high quality meat like this from a white-tailed deer, a black-tailed deer, or an elk, last thing you want to do is throw some commercially raised fat in it. But if it's all you can get it and do it. So I'm looking to add 2 more pounds of that. That was roughly about a pound. Sometimes you have to mix, go in and out of the pot, figure out what you want to use to get to the proper weight. And that is right at 10 pounds. So now this batch is ready to go in the grinder. So for your grinder basics, understanding this machine, we did a previous video. If you look back, you can figure out grinder basics, but now we got our ratio where we want it to be, and we're going in the grinder.